Straight to it, man. We already in here. I already hit the record button, just a heads up, man. So you know what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying, man. It's keep it clean, bro. Let's get straight to it, bro. Opening statements. What's your opening statement?
What is my opening statement? Um, you niggas who get uncomfortable around women when they start speaking about their experiences and things that they go through with men, you got to sit with that. You need to address that. You need to actually dissect that because you want that individuality. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be the special one. You want to be the one who's um the exception. And I'm glad that you feel that way because it's exactly how white people feel about racism. So if you understand that, right? You know what I'm saying? You understand how the grouping of racism works, especially with white people. Not all of them are racist, but we assume most of them are. Same thing with men. Same thing with patriarchy, my nigga. To sit with that sit with being uncomfortable and do something about it.
Touche, man. I said opening statements. He gave a whole solo. I appreciate you for that. I make mine real simple. A lot of y'all make a lot of calculated risks, including myself. And a lot of y'all are also bad at math. Sit with that piece on yourself. Do a little better, man. You know what I'm saying? So we getting into it, bro. It's episode 53. I'm letting y'all know what the title is up top. Smells like Buttahs. It smells like Buttahs. You dig what I'm saying? The views, thoughts, and opinions on this podcast belong only to the hosts and the guests. They don't necessarily reflect any organization or sponsors connected to us. We aim to keep things accurate, but everything you hear is shared for information, conversation, and entertainment. We're going to dive into good laughs, tough talks, and that genuine feel that you came for. So get comfortable, relax into the vibe, and let the moment unfold. This is Keep It Clean. Lock in.
Now, how this nigga start?
Dramatic
How does
effect,
nigga start the intro and then walk away? Like
dramatic
what are we
effect,
supposed to
my
do?
brother.
What are we supposed to do with that?
Dramatic effect, my brother. That's what we doing out here. No, man. This is the Keep It Clean podcast, episode 53. You know me, Bucket Hat Ray, full in effect. We back with the buckets, man. You know what's happening today. Anytime I wear a bucket hat, I'm on some type of shenanigans. I hope you prepared. My brother Bodega, I hope you prepared. This is what we here for today.
Oh
How you
man,
feeling though?
you know everything is love. You know what I'm saying? It's a good day. You know, nice and sunny outside. I mean, nothing too crazy. You know, the Knicks are on a tear. You know, I don't normally rep for the Knicks, but like this time I am. So like, I don't want to hit.
Hmm, hmm. Fair enough, man. Happy to have you back. Shake my hand. Shake my hand. Appreciate you, man. What's been up with you this past week?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I have been doing a ton of consulting, both in my 9 to 5 and in music. Trying to guide the masses to the things that they say that they need. I can count on one hand how many artists or labels or indies have actually listened to what I had to say the first time and applied it. But that's neither here nor there. They
Hmm,
pay me anyway.
hmm.
What can I say? So yeah, man, trying to get things in order, figuring out what the next stage of life is. Yeah, that's what we've been on.
That's what's up, man. Man, I'm disappointed in us in the fact that we didn't give a Mother's Day shout out like we were supposed to, but I was happy to see Mom Dukes this past weekend, man. We had a good time. Took the lady out, got to celebrate multiple mothers, kick it. Older bro flew in town just so we could take Mom Dukes out.
Nice.
Um,
It's nice.
you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all that are mothers. We appreciate you. We really do. We appreciate you and everything that you do for the children and for the youth to come up, man. And may you be celebrated for the rest of your days. Other than that, man, finish some school at work. I finished some school at work, man. I was doing legitimate college courses in the meantime, man. And
Okay.
I know a lot about fire that I didn't know before. I have a basic level fire inspector license because of my career and
Mhm.
whatnot, but knowing what spark points and flash points are for all this other type of stuff, what foams are supposed to be used in firefighting, man, I was always almost ready to put on a suit. Like, give me a helmet, man. You know, someone someone's in dire straits. You dig what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But it's, you know, it's been cool, man. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back with you, man. But
I'm glad
for
to
all
hear
of
that you're
y'all,
going to school because I've been contemplating. I'm contemplating on going back in some
get
ways.
to it, bro. Get to it, man. I think I'm of the opinion at this point is like, man, what else we got going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If everybody of the opinion they're gonna be locked in the house anyways, whether it be a new virus or new politics, why are you at the crib, bro? You on your laptop?
And
Get some schooling.
our women counterparts, they in school all the time anyway.
There you go.
You know, they in school all the time. Yeah, I'm going back to school for X, Y, and Z. I don't know where they find the time at, but apparently I need to find it too. So
You can find the time. You know why? Because there's a lot of people that be using financial aid and whatnot, and they just keep taking the course a semester just to keep delaying the payments. And I respect game. I respect game, bro. I respect game so much, bro.
I respect it.
Yeah, man. But for y'all here, y'all know the deal. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Y'all came and y'all showing support for us as we grow our numbers. And I want to make sure y'all know that we love you despite the shenanigans that we do present to you sometimes, because we just being ourselves. And once again, we here to tap in with us, more specifically the man community, the black man community, and then we grow outwards. So follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter at Keep It Clean Show, and Instagram at The Keep It Clean Show. I've been appreciating y'all's comments, and I'm building a little repertoire. I told the homies in the group, we've been seeing y'all say some stuff. One of these episodes, I'm gonna just start bringing them up. What I'm doing right now is putting them in the files and then addressing the comments to the person that has said something. So whenever they up here, I'll be like, "Hey, Bodega, hey."
Hey, they be in the comments talking wild, like
wild, bro. Look, that one I sent from YouTube, because we was talking about Mike Vrabel, the coach, and the reporter. Man, the homie poured his life out talking. You don't know what he went through. You know, he wasn't even married. He's not in the wrong. She in the wrong. Like, yo, bro.
Nah, bro. He in the wrong. Listen, brother. Women are only in most cases. I'm not gonna say all, but in most cases, women are only going to do what you allow. And I don't mean that as like controlling anything like that. I mean that as like how you carry yourself is how women will carry themselves around you.
Hey, man,
come on now.
Being married,
he knew what was going on.
You being married, you stepped out on your marriage and then potentially named your son after your affair partner. She might have to wear a little bit of that, you know. She might have to wear a little bit of that.
And this is what I'm saying, Mike. I mean, yeah, she definitely she got to wear a lot of that. She was cheating on that nigga when she was engaged to the other nigga. But like, I'm of the belief that Mike knew he wasn't gonna marry her for whatever reason. He knew he wasn't gonna marry her. Like,
that's
so
a fact.
Like, this what you did. That's what you got that off. Like, yeah. Go fuck on that other nigga. Go marry that other nigga. But you know what it is. Like, Mike, you moving crazy, and you moving wild. And on top of that, it's a conflict of interest. Like, there was a tweet that I read about the potential trade between Tennessee Titans and Atlanta Falcons when Julio Jones was in talks. And she went on to her platform and was like, yeah, well, you know, these are the rumors and blah, 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 whatever the case, which potentially allowed the Titans to play hardball with the Falcons. Because Julio Jones was worth a first round at the time. But I think they got like a second and like a fifth or something like that. That's nasty.
Yep. She'll pay for her crimes. She'll pay.
That's nasty. Y'all doing collusion.
Yeah, she'll pay, man. But man, while we here, man, let's go ahead and dive into the bag, bro. What's on your? Oh no, hold on. That's on me. Running y'all down the cleaning list for this week. This is what we looking like. Right? This on me, right? Of course, you know we're gonna get to the NBA playoffs for sure. Right? There's been a lot happening. We're gonna have some solos this week. Bodega has a whole solo about the Knicks that y'all should take the pleasure to look forward to, which is why this episode is named as such. He was blowing up in the group chat. He didn't want to hear nothing. He didn't want nobody to say nothing. It was big New York business in there. You see the type of cap that he got on right now. I think all his caps are New York anyways, but game be the game, right? We're gonna give you a Hantavirus update on what's going on, the Julio Foolio trial update. We're gonna build that conversation into something else, especially based off of what the judge said. We may get to the Alex Murdaugh conviction overturn, depends on how we feel. The roast to Kevin Hart and an update with Chud the Builder, because the brother Rose did have some good sentiments. We had a good conversation on that. And then anything else that we choose to get to, because that's just the type of people we are. With that being said, what's your solo looking like, good sir?
Listen, I want y'all to know, because we gonna get to this in like the playoff discussion, but they was in the chat, right? You know what I'm saying? When New York beat Atlanta and they had to go against Philly, I was like, if New York make it past Philly, they make it to the finals. I ain't gonna want to hear shit. That's what I said. I said it, and they was in the chat talking about some. Oh well, Philly may do it to him. You know what I'm saying? Philly may put, you know what I'm saying, a nigga who wear New Balances might get him up. Swept them. You know what I'm saying? This is Philly that beat Boston, right? This is Philly that beat the defending champs. And Jason Tatum was back. So swept them, right? Now, here's the thing that I really want to talk to y'all about today. New York is in particular. All right. Mayor Madani, he up there doing his little 1-2. I mean, he just announced they eliminated $12 billion deficit. He been in office, 4 months, 5 months? Let me tell you something. New York get a Muslim man, and now the Knicks is on top of something. Listen, man, you better go find your local mass shit. That's what I'm saying.
Are you associating him with the success of New York in general? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Him and Islam with the success of New York. So if your corner store is selling pork, get that out of there. If you selling alcohol, Aki, get that out of there, okay? The man coming for you. Alhamdulillah.
People be putting bacon on their chopped cheese, and you know this at the Bodega.
Listen. If it's beef or turkey bacon, that's halal. It's halal.
So you gonna sit here and tell me that you gonna act like they went straight to beef or turkey bacon whenever they be? we gonna act like they don't.
Son, the average corner store. Let me tell you something. Like the average corner store in like Brooklyn or Harlem, you trying to find pork bacon in Brooklyn or Harlem is gonna be a long day for you. It's gonna be a long day for you, right? Between the Muslims and the Jews, it's gonna be a long day for you trying to find pork bacon. You got to be like in the middle of Manhattan somewhere, like downtown, or like, you know what I'm saying, like the west Upper West Side or something like that, to like find deliberately pork bacon somewhere, or like in Queens, or like Staten Island, where all them damn Italians. But like, yeah, like you got to hunt for pork bacon. But like, yeah, put that beef bacon on the chopped cheese. I mean, watch your calories though. That's a lot. That's a lot of sodium. But
how does it feel to know that most of the New York players don't wear Buttahs?
It's hurtful. Okay, it's hurtful because you need to continue. Listen, you have traditions, okay, and if they're conflated traditions or if they are accurate conditions, whatever the case, whatever the traditions may be, you got to carry the traditions. Y'all better show up to the Eastern Conference Finals with Timbs. Everybody got to wear Timbs, all right? Spike Lee, you need to go ahead and get like, it's 12 of them niggas, 12 custom pairs, you know what I'm saying? Spike Lee joint on the Buttahs, and that's what they need to wear on the opening. If I don't see it, I'm gonna have to make a phone call.
Last question. If the Knicks win the title, what's the title of Spike Lee's next movie?
I don't even know. You
gotta put one out there. Come on, man.
I don't know. Spike Lee, a wild man. Okay, you know what I'm saying. That's a very eccentric Brooklyn brother. You know what I'm saying. I don't know what the next title is, but I know the movie gonna be Flames. I know I'll be right there. I'll be right there to see it.
Okay, so he didn't put a name to it. I'm genuinely trying to remember who they is in our chat. It might have been me. I don't even want to act like I didn't
It
say
might
nothing
have
because
been
I
you.
did.
It
When
probably
you
is.
said the New Balance comment, it was like he wear New Balance. I did say that y'all might lose to a homie that wears Skechers, which is Joel Embiid, because he do be wearing Skechers. He's endorsed by them on the court, which is insane. I don't know. I never would have thought I would have seen the day as a former hooper that Skechers have gotten between the lines of the 94 feet that I know and love. You know what I'm saying? Like I never would have thought that.
Philly,
However,
that's why y'all lost, by the way.
because he's a bum. Philly took
Cheesesteak's
2
not
L's.
better than a chopped cheese. Let's
Philly
get that
took
out the
two
way.
L's, man. I know you don't really pay attention to it, but I've been keeping up with it just as much as the NBA playoffs. Philly got swept in hockey and basketball simultaneously. Simultaneously, bro. There's nobody from Philly that can say nothing right now. I don't want to hear a Cassidy record. I don't want to hear a Meek record. I don't want to hear. I don't want to see a Rocky movie. I don't
We
want to
should
see
never have
nothing.
we should never have to hear a Meek record ever again. Let me just get that out the way. We should never have to like Meek. We shouldn't have to hear Meek Mill do anything. Okay, speak, rap, exist. Like Meek Mill should just have you've been successful. Go be successful over there. That shit is ass.
That has to be because you from New York.
Nah, it's Philly. I mean, not Philly. Meek Mill is just stupid.
Fair, fair.
That nigga's just stupid.
Well, speaking of his stupidity, because he's often involved with certain things I'm about to say, for my keep it clean, man, genuinely, I know I kind of touched on this here and there. I am highly disappointed with the handling of legalities, especially by attorneys, when it comes to these most recent high profile cases of people that happen to look like us, right? Between the Stephon Diggs case, the Young Thug case, the Diddy case, the Jonathan Majors case, all of these situations was right there for you to execute things appropriately and just give us some type of semblance of what justice looks like. And I'm more so disappointed because it's always us in these cases, right? The
Mhm.
Stephon Diggs one, absolute buffoonery. You can't tell me that this stuff wasn't in the motion of discovery before you drug his name the way that you did, and then the prosecutor still went up there and put her on the stand. That's buffoonery. Give me your bar. Give me your bar license. This was a criminal case. It was on both sides. The watering down of what happened with the Diddy situation, and then really getting it consolidated to counts that kind of missed the whole message of what was going on,
Yeah.
right? The Young Thug case, Woody has gone and made himself a whole internet persona off of the blunders of the way that they handled that case, right? Knowing what was going on. And what was the other one I just said? I'm forgetting one. Jonathan Majors, but you date a white woman, give or take. Gang be the game. But it's just more so we keep getting hemmed up in situations where why the frustration is coming up for me, especially once we get to something like the most recent two, the Stephon Diggs and the Diddy case, is if we're in the mindset of working with our community and more so working with giving women a comfortable space, these two cases cannot possibly exist in the manner that they do. I would add the Afro Man case in there, but I just love when a black man wins like that, especially when the police were out of line. So that one I'm not mad at, but again, should have never made it to trial. This one for Stephon Diggs, she was completely in the wrong, at least from what we saw, right? And then you getting on trial and not being able to really answer particular questions, kind of dragging things out. I'm not saying that this has direct association with him being released from the Patriots, but we knew that there was going to be some type of backlash just anytime you have certain situations going on. With the Diddy situation, there was a lot of women that had the chance to be protected, and then we failed. Not necessarily that we were the ones that are trying the case, but just the conversation that I'm seeing, and even some of the not backlash, the continuation of the way that his name is utilized now that there's been some quote unquote time of
Yeah.
passing to where you
Yeah.
think it changes anything, right? It hasn't even been a full year. I'm not even, we're rounding it, but it hasn't even been a full year. So my solo is more just the mishandling of justice, at least as far as bozos of the week. There's a lot of attorneys I know can do way better. I don't know if it's just the high profile cases. Cool. On the other side, Spurs look all right. Spurs look all right. And what I know you don't want to happen in this chat, but see, you haven't seen it, and you from New York, so we used to you being loud, anyways. You don't want Texas to win. We can
No,
get
I
to
do. I do.
no, you don't. You don't.
I
You don't.
do.
You don't want Texas to win
Listen.
like that.
As long as it's not the Dallas Cowboys, Texas can win. Okay, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I hear you.
Listen, I Spurs against Minnesota. Because I want to see the Spurs beat Minnesota, and I definitely want to see the Spurs beat OKC. I want OKC to be buried alive. I want them to never have prominence or existence again. I want the Seattle Seahawks to come. I mean, Seattle Supersonics to come back so the OKC can be the small market bullshit, nasty state it is. Okay, there's no reason at all that OKC should ever have any relevance in anything unless we're talking about heroin and meth. Okay, that's the only thing that Oklahoma should have any relevance in. All right, if we was talking about trailer parks, if we were talking about racism in the Midwest, if we were talking about heroin addicts and meth addicts, okay. But under no circumstance do I want to see Chet and Shay be successful. Listen,
Okay.
I'm sure they're good people. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Get it out of here.
So when we get to sports, I got a question for you, right? Because you saying, you know what, I'm gonna ask you this directly now because it's only us two. The other homies are coming, right? You, New York representative, you a Knicks fan. You saying you want Texas to win. If the Knicks get to the finals and the Spurs get to the finals, how would you handle y'all's ass getting whooped again, like back in the 99 finals when the Spurs took it home and beat Allen Houston and Spreewell and all them, when they put hands to neck, and you know what I'm saying? Like because what are Buttahs to a real set of boots? Because that's how we might feel. So I don't know.
You're talking crazy. Okay,
I don't know if you like you dig what I'm saying? Like y'all got your Yankee fitteds, we have a cowboy hat, and then it's just tough when you have to look up to just that all leather bottom, just you know what I'm saying, just kind of like
you ain't been stepped on with no Timbs, and that's it
you
shows.
Ain't been stepped on with boots. I'm just
it shows. It shows. Listen. If the Spurs beat the Knicks, then I will be satisfied. Okay. I will be satisfied because for two reasons. One, who the hell expected the Knicks to get to the finals?
Everyone from New York.
Nah, it's cap. It's cap. And so it's only them niggas on that little street talk NYC they be doing or whatever the case, where they be yelling into the camera. It's only them niggas who expected the Knicks to get to the finals. Everybody else didn't really expect the Knicks to get to the finals. Okay. Knicks had to beat. I mean, Atlanta beating Atlanta, like, okay, cool, whatever case. Atlanta wasn't supposed to be in the playoffs to begin with, if we've been perfectly honest. But that's neither here nor there. But them sweeping Philly, and like again, who they potentially play Cleveland and Detroit. Detroit has looked inconsistent for the entire playoffs, and Cleveland. You believe in James Harden for any reason? Okay, all right then. All right. So the Knicks should be able to take care of whoever shows up there. But if the Knicks make it to the finals and they lose to the Spurs, especially if it's a 7-game series or 6-game series, I ain't got no qualms. Now, if the Spurs lose, right? If Timberlands prevail over cowboy boots, if New York fitteds prevail over cowboy hats, listen, we need a parade in all 5 boroughs, okay? I don't know how the fuck y'all are going to get to Staten Island, you know what I'm saying, to make that happen, but y'all can figure out the logistics, okay? We need a parade in all 5 boroughs, all right? We need a parade, all 5 of them.
At least y'all would come together. If San Antonio wins, there's going to be hate from Houston and Dallas simultaneously, and that's all right because unlike their basketball teams, they haven't won since Akeem. Shout out to Akeem. and Dallas hasn't won since 2011. But in the meantime of them winning, we went and got another one after, and they both had to see 5 of them things, right? Word to Tim. With that being said, I also don't believe you're prepared to have a team win with 3 starting light skinned niggas. That's just me and the bodega that I know. I'm because you don't have to wear that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And one of them is Cat, and I don't like that nigga.
Come on, man.
That's a
you
good
don't
point.
have
That's
to
a
wear
good
that.
point. That's a good point.
So I just want you to know.
Point.
But speaking of New York, we're gonna get straight into the first topic, right? Transitioning from New York, like a lot of New Yorkers do, moving down to Florida. One of these days, you're gonna have to explain that to me. But on this very podcast, we did have a conversation. I can't remember how long it's been since the trial, but we were talking about the Julio Foolio situation where a group of Florida rappers were sending diss tracks at each other. It was egregious by all standards. I don't know a better way to say it. Once you get to the point where you doing videos on top of another person's grave that you went and taking their life from, like, things go too far, right? And the sentencing came down. They obviously found the gentleman that killed Julio Foolio guilty. The bigger piece is where I want our conversation to go. I think we expected that, is more so what the judge said. So I'm gonna share this with you.
Abilities, things like that. Do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that, so we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
And we talk about life without parole and death row, but for our jurors' education, in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secured facility.
So, a little bit of backstory on the dude that you see in the video, the young man. They say out of the whole group that was involved in this situation, he by far had the brightest future. Wasn't even really, one of those kids that would be outside like the way the rest of the group was. If I remember correctly, he was on the road to going to college, probably had a college scholarship. But when you listen to that gentleman that's on the stand, man, what's your initial thought in the way that he worded those things when it came to this gentleman's sentencing?
Conservatives and white people in large have very expertly worked themselves into a position where they no longer have to sugarcoat what it is that they want and what their expectations are for us as a people. This directly speaks to not only just a school to prison pipeline, but a school to slavery pipeline. And we've talked about that in several podcasts, and we've have mentioned all those things or whatever the case. But this is the clearest example of it. Prison populations are aging. They are primarily aging due to what happened in the 80s and 90s. So you have the ramp up of the war on drugs in the 80s. You have the 3 strikes law in the 90s. The combination of these two, especially after the 70s and things like that, filled the prison system with a substantial influx of young Black men and women, young Hispanic men and women. But those if you was 20 when you went in 95, you are what is it? It's been 30 years. You are 50 at that point. You're 50, 55, 60, 65. Um, they need that. They need that. And this also goes to like when you were speaking about Florida. Florida is one of the most outwardly conservative states in the US. And so the way that they run their prison systems and the way that they speak about their politics are really a telltale sign for what other Republican states are thinking, but just haven't maybe said out loud just yet. Um, I think one of the things that's important to call out here is that this is state time. This isn't federal time, right?
Mhm.
So like that law of there's no parole in the state of Florida, that's by design because most of the people that they lock up for life sentences in the state of Florida are going to be black people. They don't want you to leave. He doesn't want you to leave. In fact, he wants more of y'all to commit these type of crimes and specifically young. He don't
Mhm.
he don't want somebody who's like 40 and committing a life sentence. Like, yeah, sure, whatever case, but I'm only going to get maybe 15 years out of labor out of him, maybe. That young brother there is 19, 20.
I believe so. Yeah.
Um, you're going to get 40 years of labor out of him. Barring anything else, barring anything happening to him within the Florida prison system, you're going to get 40 years of slave labor. He will get paid literally pennies on the dollar to produce goods and services for the state of Florida. And those goods and services are outsourced to whoever's the highest bidder. If
Mhm.
you if you're looking at Nike and you're looking at Apple and you're looking at like all these major conglomerates and they doing child labor over in Taiwan and China and India and all these other countries, that same type of labor happens here, but it happens with our prison system.
Yeah. And they go
Polo,
home.
Tommy, whatever the case, whatever, like that same type of exploitation happens here. And again, it starts with, and Ray, I'm sorry, I'm just going on this tangent, but like
Nah, speak your piece.
it starts with from your community, from your community in the food deserts and the percentile the percentile of failing rates in your school in your county. All of these things are funded by the medium income of the neighborhood or place that you live in. And so this isn't a fluke. It's not a one-off or anything like that. This is all specific and intentional by design. And every single time that one of us plays into the role, because we can't look outside of what's actually happening because we're young, so we don't have that information available to us, because our parents aren't available, because our grandparents aren't available, because the community doesn't do X, Y, and Z or anything like that. This is the exact thing that happens.
That's a fact.
You fall.
I think the specific wording of he's young and we're gonna get a lot of sweat equity from him. It embodies everything that you're saying, because it's a little bit different state to state, obviously. And I'm more familiar with the Texas piece of it, because when he was saying that, for a lot of the situations, at least in Texas prisons, depending on what your crime was, you may not really be put in situations to work. They kind of just house you, right? Which it opened my eyes. It's like, oh, okay, Florida does something a little bit different. And we know Florida's history, the way that they go around arresting people. To your point, they are extremely conservative. And not only are they conservative, they are very tough on crimes specifically there. And so the work aspect of it makes it tough to process when you're looking at that gentleman in the video for the youth. And he's like, this probably isn't the time for him to be emotional. He's expressed his regret, which I'm sure he has, but the fact that there is no opportunity for parole, is a message that I'm trying to figure out how other than a clip like that can you deliver that, I guess, more so to the specific youth that they're looking at, because we've all been there. We've been in them situations, and we can say by the grace and glory we didn't end up in his shoes, right?
Yeah.
Some of us got away with everything. Some of us had to do a little bit of time, and then but you're still on the other side of not facing life. How do you transition or provide a deliverable? Because we know this story tells it all the time, and then at the same time I can see anyone that's not from there being like, oh, that's just Florida. And it's like, but it's not really just Florida, because it's not even just necessarily conservative states. Each one varies, but there's blue states as well that still would take in the opportunity for you to just throw your life away in such a manner. Is is there a way that you've seen, or either one of you have seen, where it could kind of be delivered, hey, live in real time?
Bro, I mean, like, I spend a lot of time speaking with my nephews, speaking with my younger brothers, speaking with some of my other members, you know what I'm saying, and just like my greater like Muslim community about like how high stakes this is, right? Like, I don't know everything in the world, but I try to educate them from a perspective of like, listen, bro, the prison system, it was never designed to um rehabilitate. The prison system, especially in its modern iteration, was specifically designed as a response to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
The abolishment of slavery brought forth the birth of the prison industrial complex. Before then, you had counties they had jails, they had chain gangs, sure, cool, whatever the case. But like the prison system in its entirety on a fed and a state level is a extremely coordinated effort that sits right in between private interests and government interests, and they want slaves. You can, I try to communicate that on the side of individual body labor and on the side of the AI push. The AI push is a whole nother thing. The reason why AI is such a popular thing is for two reasons. One, AI generates an insane amount of imaginary money. Second thing is AI very realistically brings back the idea of slavery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So communicating that is an ongoing effort, but helping like my young ones understand, bro, it's the music, it's peer pressure, it's the school, it's the food. It's like, trying to give them as much of a picture as I can so that they understand what they are actually up against. And I think the hardest thing is like once you get to a certain age, unless they can critically think for themselves, maybe like how I was able to, or maybe how you were able to, at a certain age, it stops mattering, right? Because there is this need for that validation from your own age group, which is why this brother in particular ended up where he was at
That's
because
a good
of
point.
peer pressure, because of wanting to be cool, because of what these niggas gonna think, and like the dangers and all those kind of things that get associated with that. But like, yeah, communicating it is extremely challenging. Extremely challenging.
I'll pick up on what you said from my perspective. Because of the group aspect, you have to give group teachings to me, and outside teachings. I'll be specific there. You make a good point, which I think we're all aware of, that the school system in almost every state is going to be a direct pipeline to the prison system. So you have to be engaged with kids outside of school. And if you could get a group, like I always think it's better in at least pairs. If you can get it in pairs, you're solid. Like your nephew with one of his homies, and then maybe that group grows and whatever the case may be. Because if you get a group that's buying in, you have a group that's also willing to defend whenever there's peer pressure about. I think that might be one of the better ways to approach it. It's just not just there is a dedication of time that is also needed from us in our age group and older as well to continuously do that, because one conversation isn't going to change it and definitely not going to fix it. Continuous conversation has to be had. So to get someone in their age group is like, man, it almost have to grab them sooner. It's like, what can we get into that will lock you into consistency of showing up yourself as a younger man within the group, whether it be once a week, every other week. If you couldn't do weekly, that's amazing. But it's like, what do we have other than basketball or some type of sporting event that will garner your attention? Because it's bad enough that we're aware that the education system in general is already dropping. And if the average reading level for men in general is 5th grade reading level across the board for the states, then I can't bank on enticing you to do something that you would call nerdy, outside. I'm currently saying, hey man, let's get the fellas together and go to a museum. Doesn't seem like the go-to thing. That's something you probably have to build towards, right? Do you think, or what would y'all say is possibly suggestions just to get the youth outside, just to kind of lock in? My first thought was like maybe trying to do something with cooking, more so towards the grill or something, but folks in New York can't grill, so I know like that might be more of a Texas thing.
Niggas be grilling in New York all the time.
They call it that. They call it, they say that, but you think, no, I'm messing with you. But like in general, it's like I thought of food. It's easy to break bread and get somebody kind of locked in with food, but I'm trying to think of other examples to where you can kind of garner the youth together and like, let's just kick it, and now you can deliver messages.
Smitty, what you got? If you talking, we can't hear you.
Nah, he's on mute.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So in terms of what Ray talking about, I think you got a multifaceted approach. Like it depends on what you want, you know what I mean, target. These generations nowadays really soft. So like if you want to target the physical, a lot of people are not gonna be open to that. If you want to target the emotional, a lot of people are not gonna be fully absolved to that as well. But me personally, like I'm open to it all. But that's a rare character in terms of like my generation, any generation close to me. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
What would have been an activity that would have got you outside that wasn't basketball in the age range of 16? I say
kill
okay.
The carrier. Kill the motherfucking carrier. You know what I mean? If you know, you know what I mean? Throw that football to 60, 70, 80 yards opposite, and then it's everybody against one. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll say. I'll say kill the carrier, man. If you know, you know.
It's that shows the difference in our age group as well, because what y'all call kill the carrier had a way different name. That's not.
What's your name? What's your name? I want to know. Kill the carrier. I don't know.
Kill the carrier sounds is still kill the carrier in the age of school shootings is also still wild in itself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, but, I got you.
Yeah, we was back then doing Bijan. Remember when Bijan slipped up this year? That's what we was calling it. We was being real flagrant with the homophobia, calling it smear the queer, and I don't even think we was thinking like
smear the queer is crazy.
That's what they call
it. Whoever caught the ball You running for your life. The gentle
Swimming with the
version was
birds.
sharks and minnows. That's it. But that was when the teacher was around. When the teacher left, we went right back to calling it
Yeah.
what we call it, man. Full on tackle, open field, you versus everybody. I thought of bowling too. I did, just at least to have a place, especially if you can find a place that's more affordable. And this is coming from someone that does a bowling league, and it's like once you get in the league, a lot of times you get discounts, right? And so if you get a discount, you able to cover a couple of people. So if you could get folks to drop them off, you can kind of lock in, and then y'all have some fun, and you get the physical aspect as well. Because my whole thing is, hey, whatever you mad at, there's a set of white pins at the end of that lane. You just hit all of them. That's your goal. Get all the anger out on all 10 of them. You feel what I'm saying? But
Facts.
yeah, man, it's an ever evolving conversation. We know this, and I'm fully aware that the conversation itself isn't just a one track thing, because there's multiple things at play simultaneously to get us in that situation to begin with. We're understanding the prison industrial context. We're understanding the lack of education. We're understanding the economic value that you may or may not live in, or what's possibly happening around you in the area that you're in. It's easy to say parents do better. It's very easy to say that.
Yeah,
it's more stronger to say community do better. However, still easier said than done. So we know that there's a jump, but piece by piece, man. The way that you're talking about your nephews and whatnot is like, I think I would ask, like, all right, where's your homie at? Like, I know you coming by, or you on the phone, like, man, how come you never around somebody? Like, I'll try to entice him to do such a thing. And then I'm learning this even in real time working with my son. It's like, man, if the more confidence I have in you with your fundamentals, the more confidence I have in you with whoever you bring around me. If you saying this is your friend, I know you enough to say that that's your friend, that you try to build that rapport with each individual. So it's, I mean, especially now, I live in a different spot. This is one of the last days that we have before the heat starts getting real disrespectful down here.
Yeah.
So in this 70 to 80 degree weather, bro, get them out to a park or get them outside to do something, even if it is basketball. I'm not necessarily knocking basketball. I just want us to think more beyond just going straight to the sport, but yes, man, push that. If you can start getting a group is amazing. And that's also more of a challenge to us ourselves. If I know Bodega is doing that, talking to his nephew, and I'm in Bodega's area, if I know Smith doing that with his folks, I would hope y'all would call and say, hey, man, I'm about to do this, or I'm about to chop it. Or even for the childish times, like, man, they saying something, they trying to explain something, y'all arguing, LeBron versus Jordan or whatever. Call one of your homies, so that way it's a group thing. Like, get that opinion, then you can start getting breakdowns and stuff, because we also know it's a difficulty, especially for young boys. The further out, I'm speaking for me, the further our relationship went, there were certain times where I didn't want to listen because we know too much about each other, versus every now and then having that refreshing piece of somebody when the cool uncle pulled up, or big bro showed up, or grandpa stepped in the room or whatever, because like now you got a little bit of a different perspective to not necessarily have to hear it from the direct pops or the tougher older brother, or so it's like start calling in, get the homies involved, and then that way they see your interactions with a consistent group of other men, and now they have an example of what that looks like, and then you start sharing, right? Those are the thoughts that come to my mind. And stay up to date with the lingo. I know it's corny sometimes, but you gotta stay up to date with the lingo just a little bit, bro.
Nah, definitely. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? We if we're talking about young black men in particular, like, there's two things that young black men need, and that is recognition and resources. Right now, we can talk about why they need recognition and all those other kind of things, like at a later date. But like, they need a space where some sort of competition or something like that is bred, so that they can be highlighted for their individual results. And then they need some sort of resource. So like, food is usually the easiest one, right? Like food, or well, sure, I mean, it's really just food. I mean, you can give out money or whatever the case, but like, in that case, that really becomes a community effort and a generational effort, right? Like, the men in the community have to be safe. They have to be safe spaces. And then they have to be able to provide those safe spaces for the children and the younger teens in their community. Right. But if you can, whether it's physical or it's like some learning activity or something along those lines, if you can create a space where, all right, the homies are doing it, I'm doing it, cool, whatever the case, that's the peer pressure aspect of it taken care of. The recognition within their own individual community of like them being on the same type of thing, cool. You give them some recognition of it, even if it's something that they should be doing, like reading, for example. Recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Congratulate it, praise it, reward it. So that you reinforce that positive activity. And then again, easy things, right? Like, listen, if it's gonna be bowling, hey man, you're gonna have to give up that pizza every week. Now, if you got to crowdfund that pizza and drink or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying, from the rest of the community because you providing this service for the community, then like, you know what I'm saying, you got to do that. But like us as like the older generation and, parents and all these other kind of things, listen, I know bills is tight, bills is rough. It's crazy outside, right? But like the things that we're talking about can be the differences between you falling into the right crowd and falling into the wrong crowd. And when you fall into the wrong crowd, there's no telling how it's going to play out, right? Like there's no telling, right? Like the success story is getting away from it, but you never know how it's going to play out. And so if it's an extra 20, if it's a whatever the case, to make sure that they participating into something that's good for them. Listen,
I will add for this is from us. We gotta do better about this. If you are around someone that's a fellow male and his idea of unity is usually limited to somewhere about push-ups, squats, and whatnot, grab him right quick. Because pull him to the side really quick. It's like, hey, my man, bro, if you haven't thought of another physical activity that could at least exercise the brain, and I know I took basketball off the table, but we know basketball does at least get you engaged. You can start to, think of whatnot. Same thing with bowling, boxing, whatever the case. But if you just got a homie that's like, yeah, man, we just gonna do workouts all day. Hey, because I need to talk to you. Are you okay? Do you know how to talk? Have you tapped in with your inner child recently? Because you know good and well you didn't want to do all these push-ups and just only do push-ups and be told to shut up and sweat. What did I have? I had an uncle. I had someone tell me, he's like, yeah, man, I'd rather you cry through sweat than cry through your eyes. And I was like, bro, I remember that to this day. It's like, man, I still wonder. He's like, what happened to you, dog? Like, what happened to you, man? How'd you get here? But to pivot out of this, speaking, I was about to say something crazy. If we're still tapping in with the inner child, I got a question for both of y'all. This might predate you, Smith. I don't know if you know about this, but I feel like Bodega does.
I bet.
7-game series. Kids from Sandlot versus the kids from Hardball. Who you got?
I got Hardball all day.
All day. Like, what's the series number count for you?
It's out of 7. It's probably 4-3. It's probably 4-3.
Also,
Hardball is G baby.
Yeah.
I got G baby in 6. I got G baby in 6, man.
The Sandlot kids really, really like baseball, so like I'll give them 3 games.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like y'all just jumped to just cutting them out like it was a cleanup, bro. It's like them Sandlot kids was tough. They was
tough.
The action.
It was tough for sure.
They had team chemistry that it took the kids from Hardball at least a good half of the movie to really lock in like that.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
They wasn't
That's
dealing
a fair
with
point.
what Hardball kids was dealing with though. So like,
I mean, touche.
It was just outside being white. Right?
That's a fair point.
Okay.
They ain't had no adversity. Like they largest adversity was the dog. Like they wasn't going through nothing for real.
Don't downplay the dog. Like you know good and well all of us had a fear of a dog when we was kids, bro. You know good and well some of us developed. I'm speaking for self. I developed my 40 time off of running from dogs and police, bro. That's how my 40 time. I don't want to sit here and act like I'm just cool with dogs, man. People don't even believe in outside dogs these days. I think you speaking from a place of safety because you don't even go outside no more and just see that dog in the backyard just ready to chomp on something. That was a childhood memory back in the day before PETA took over. We know how that is.
Facts.
Come on, Bodega. You outrun the dog, Bodega, or you were sitting there squabbling? You don't have to lie.
Am I outrunning a dog today?
Or back then?
No, back then, yeah, for sure. In Tim's, by the way, I'll say that too because I already know that's coming. I know that's coming. But like today, am I outrunning the dog? I don't know.
Depends on the breed.
I don't know.
That's a fact.
Listen. If a dog catches you, though, you know what I'm saying? They sinked into your arm or they sinked into your leg or something like that. You need to punch them in the nose, okay? trying to do all of that. Let's release the jaw. You're not stronger than the bite pressure of their jaws, okay? You're not stronger than that. You can't generate that much force, all right? And you're not trying to rip your skin. You have to deliberately prevent, their own senses, which means you got to punch them in the nose. Punch that dog in the nose as hard as you can. Get a break, something, punch them in the nose. Disable the nose.
Don't know that.
They're released.
Yeah, most people don't know that. Well, we do have a Hantavirus update for those that are following, man. I will start off with asking the room, either of y'all prepped for a second lockdown?
Personally, I'm gonna let you know. I prepped financially, you know what I mean? Like last COVID made an amazing run, but it was on the crypto side. I'm trying to make an amazing run on the SPY side, you know what I mean? Legally. Crypto's legal, but you know what I mean? I'm trying to make that shit on the umbrella of the spies. So I'm just trying to keep my, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep my my lens out there, see what's going on, see what's available. But honestly, if you're an American and you got some extra cash, I would be really, the stock market that's going on right now, I'd be really having my ears up because it's a lot going on. It's a lot.
And with that being said, are you prepared to be locked in the house again?
Yeah. I'm ready to be locked in the house and going full on oil longs, man. I'm ready. I just need that. I just need that word. You know what I mean? I just need that word, man. That's it.
Listen, I got a freezer full of chicken, salmon, beef, lamb. It's mad cans up there, mad rice up there. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna be lacking on the veggies, but like from a strictly lockdown standpoint, like I'm cool. Like I'm good there.
Fact.
Financially, I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I need to put some money in some places because I don't want to miss out on no PPP loan. I got a legit business, that pays legit employees. I'm not scamming. I just need a little something. Let me stimulate the economy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You ain't let me stimulate last time. You said I was making too much. This time, though, inflation caught up to me. So, let me get some. But on a serious note, though, listen, man, we get a new virus outbreak every 6 years. And we saw what the last one was. There's no telling what this one is going to be, especially with how they're handling it. The United States is no longer a part of the World Health Organization, and the CDC doesn't technically have a director, which means that RFK is pseudoly acting as the director of the CDC, and their numbers have been completely dwindled from the last, outbreak. So the United States is getting information bits and pieces, but there's not like a centralized place to really get that information. The only thing I can really tell you to do from like an American standpoint is get that mask. If you got to be outside, wear your mask, be careful. Make sure you're checking your news sources, even if that's international news sources, because hantavirus has there are cases in Atlanta, there are cases in Texas right now, there are cases
Cali.
in France right now, there's cases in Cali. Those people who was on those boats are just kind of like all over the place. And they didn't do any mandatory quarantine or anything along those lines. And so like this very well could be another outbreak, just prepare yourself as best you can and try to find your information sources.
It hit like a bomb the way you said every 6 years, bro. It's been 6 years since COVID, bro.
It's been
I
6 years since
didn't even really process that like that until you said it's been 6 years since COVID, man. And it don't feel like that. It don't feel like that. To your point though, and the CDC and the World Health Organization, it's like they have not conflicting views. I'm looking at both websites right now, right? Just to make sure I read through both of them. So the CDC is giving updates, but is more in a way of, yeah, man, not that bad. Shouldn't
as
be
they
right.
always do.
So the CDC, they're working with the federal agencies, health departments and whatnot. They're going to give you all of the nice words to kind of let you know what's going on, but I haven't seen too much as far as what to do to prevent it. And then of course in the meantime, because even on the other side, for the World Health Organization, they're advising that state parties continue involved with the public event, continue with the coordination and management of efforts to, but there's nothing that necessarily says to prevent it. Then you get to the point where you're starting to see it could be contagious, airborne, and then it may not be unless you directly are in contact with the person, all the way down to I'm assuming this started from somewhere in the red pill world that it shrinks the package by 3 inches allegedly if you get it, dog. I swear to you, bro. Smith, am I lying? I'm sure you see it.
I seen it.
I
definitely seen it.
So then all of a sudden there was a bunch of dudes like, now it's like y'all want to take it serious, bro, because that might be all you have. So you just out here in this situation, and now all of a sudden you want to be inside. Because me personally, I'm not gonna hold you. It sounds good in theory, but I do not think as a population we are prepped to be inside for a second time based on how the first one went.
We're not prepped. The economy isn't prepped for nobody and nothing is prepped for a second wave.
Which is wild because I do know for a fact if it's anything that I learned from the first pandemic, Florida and Texas gonna do what they do.
Facts.
Right. Same with potentially Georgia. They ran the play of what did Drago say? If I die, I die, or if he dies, he dies. That's essentially what they ran, and they took it on the chin of whoever did pass away. Businesses went, tourism went, people started moving out here in large numbers, and I won't be keeping it clean if I didn't wish like there wasn't enough of an issue here specifically to get the people to go back so our economy could bounce back out. That would be a grace. That's how I feel about that. That would be a grace.
But they want you to have babies and they want you to die. Okay. However you gotta die and keep your baby here, they support it. Okay. So like if you're expecting the oligarchical. And by the way, I'm about to go on a tangent. I apologize. But if you are arguing against socialism and if you are arguing against us existing in an oligarchy, I need you to know there are the top 20th most powerful capitalists in the world with the president went to China to argue for new deals. They went to China to argue for new deals. They went to China to increase their capitalist standing in China, right? And China is holding they nuts, okay? China got 22, 23 pair of nuts in their hands right now saying, hey, my nigga, listen, you want some deals? All right, well, you're going to have to abide to our laws and you're going to have to give up that Taiwan shit.
Is this
I-
in direct
Hey.
tie? Because you were there for this. Is this in direct tie? Because remember, never did we think we would see Trump on Truth Social calling for Allah. Do you think this is the path that we're down? So this China just happens to be another
Listen,
area or landing
I
zone.
I think personally, I'm a put the young man mentality out there. Personally, like, to see everything that's going on, Trump is definitely playing charades in front of the entire world. Like, everything he's doing, I'm looking at it. I'm seeing every move. I'm an active person in the stock market. And no other market. Like, I've been loving the oil as of lately, and if you know, if I'm loving the oil, the stock market it don't agree with that. You know what I mean? When the stock market's up, the oil is usually down. So I've been loving this. I've been loving the oil, and just to see some of the complaints that's going on. I heard when I was on Twitter today, they're investigating Trump for trades, insider trading that happened from January to March. You know what I mean? If any of us didn't think it was that obvious, it is that obvious. You know what I mean? I'm sad that they closed it from March 31st, because from April to May, it only got that much more heinous. But you know what I mean? I've just been taking it day by day, and as an active trader, honestly, and as of someone who's 26, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard, but then again, you just gotta understand what the streets is saying, and you gotta abide by that. You know what I mean? You just gotta do what you gotta do.
So to circle this back, because I know we off on a tangent, but like Trump is up something like 30 billion, $40 billion since he's taken office again.
Facts.
He's up 40 billion, not 40 M's, not 400,000. He's up 40 billion dollars. $40 billion. Okay. He's up $40 billion. And the United States is trying to get the other CEOs. You see, the CEOs been floating around and all this other type of shit. Congress, them niggas in Congress is up several millions of dollars. A shutdown would negatively impact all of that. So the United States will continue to play Hantavirus as lightly as possible to prevent an absolute shutdown, because the economy can't take it. They're not trying to lose they gains, none of that. Okay, so if the CDC is telling you, oh nah, it's not that big of a deal, whoop-de whoop, swap-de wops, all I'm telling you to do is to go verify the news that you're receiving, and please spread it beyond the United States. Also, if you have a public health official in your life, somebody who studied public health, somebody who studied viruses, whatever the case, especially if they niggas, please listen to what they got to say. Okay. Elevate their voices, whatever the case, get them on podcasts, out, whatever you got to do. Because the information that you will receive from our government, unfortunately, will not actually benefit you. It will benefit their ends. Okay. So that means if you about 55 and you done had some lingering health issues, but you done had some offspring, okay, they're trying to get you out of here, okay? Because you close to collecting Social Security and they can't afford that. But they can afford for your kid to put in 40 years hard labor. So
there you go. That's how quickly it ties in. Because what's scary about this situation for me, and I could leave it here on my end, is I don't think they have to lie about the information simply because of the fact nobody wants to be shut down anyways. There will be there mentally, doesn't matter if you were anti-vax, for vaccinations, didn't like wearing the mask, with the mask, it doesn't matter as a totality. They don't even really have to lie because we just aren't prepped to go through that again. People change after being locked in the house for a certain amount of time. Like, personalities change, the way that we approach everybody has changed, and it's funny because the way that played out from my perspective, it put such a division that was already being set up in place just across the board. Now it's to the point you didn't know your neighbors before in a lot of our generations, but you definitely don't know them now. You don't even like being in large groups no more, for real, because you still kind of scarred from it. You still somewhat look at people a little bit different. Like, all right, bro, you done sneezed twice. I need you to step outside and get away. And so just the idea of being caged back in, because think about it, for all the people that had babies during COVID, those that got married during COVID, life didn't change. You got locked in with that person. Y'all done, to Bodega's point, enlisted in the government's program and popped out 2-3, and then you going to be locked in a house with just with just them 2-3 and your significant other. Some of y'all left COVID after a divorce and then tried to get back out there, and then you not prepared to go back into a lockdown with somebody else again. Like, bro, I don't know, man. I think it's more scary for me because you don't even have to lie. People just flat out don't want to do that unless there's some type of game.
Yeah, and the US isn't prepared anything. Like, if you think there's some sort of system in place or anything along those lines since the last like COVID or anything along those lines, other countries, sure. If this was France, if this was Australia, whatever the case, Japan, whatever, they got their systems in place. The US just spent the last 2 years effectively dismantling any of that, right? All of our entire effort was to get back to normalcy. But like, if you was, in New York, there was trucks that were traditionally providing meat and groceries, refrigerated trucks that were hauling bodies.
Damn.
I need, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't, like, if it has to happen again, they will allow it to happen again at all costs. If it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, man, just stay safe, stay dangerous, because it looks spooky.
Well, speaking of staying safe and staying dangerous, we touched on it last week, and it only took 7 days. Chud the Builder's been arrested. We did speak on it last week. We can get in and out. There don't need to be too many additional details on this. If you don't know as a listener, and then even for Bodega, I'll tell y'all, Smith, I did introduce him to this person because Bodega does a great job of only sticking to Timberland Twitter, right? Islamic Instagram,
double soul Twitter,
double soul Twitter, and then only gangster rap from New York. That's where he lives. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't aware of this buffoon that was running around Tennessee for the most part. So just for an update for him and those that are listening, Chud the Builder, white dude that is really a big advocate of the First Amendment and such, would like to go out of his way to prove that everybody should be allowed to say words and it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And his word of choice and group of choice was nigger, hard ER, and saying that around large groups of black people, while also letting them know he has weaponry on him. And then if they felt some type of way, he wants to see them chimp out. Those are his words.
Yep.
Cool. He was on a streak, which we did kind of call because I had even brought up last week when we were chopping it, was he's hit the end of the road for those type of social media content creators when you've gone so far into a particular shtick and there's essentially nothing else left for you to do. Like you went so radical that there's no coming back from it, right? So now you have to keep leaning further and further into it. And unfortunately for the men's side of the world, when they stop sexualizing women and worrying about their OnlyFans accounts, they go into something extra egregious. And 9 times out of 10, it's some type of selling out along the lines of being extra racist, selling out, or whatever the case may be. So his was doing that. So as of a few days ago, he had a situation where if another white racist content creator ran down on him in Nashville, stole his cowboy hat. And that became a little thing. Chud tried to chase him. He ain't got the lungs like that. The white kid that he was chasing, is missing the tooth, I would argue has at least allegedly possibly seen the crack pipe in his life. You weren't gonna catch him. Little man has some giddy up, bro. When I saw that video, because he wasn't even breathing hard, it was just he ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? He had a little pickup on there, bro. I was like, yeah, Chud, you might do all just mirror muscles, bro. You ain't had no endurance because man broke off on you.
Yeah, and he really tried to circle back. You know, this is all live streamed on whatever platform, Twitch or his Kick.
He doesn't.
He tried to double back 20 minutes later and hop on bro, and bro got elite with the feet twice.
Twice, bro. He was moving, bro. It was because in the whole time when he filming behind it, like, because you would let Chud kind of close the gap, but you could tell, man, Chud was doing everything to manage his pride. And then he went fed. You did all this antagonizing just for you to call the cops. And then you got the FBI involved, right? So now they come by the crib. They say your phone's a part of an investigation. This is all coming directly from Buddy, right? This is between us filming this pod last week, Rose saying he's going to just be the first, so just not entertain him. And then he kicked into fifth gear, locked in. So now he doing the stream talking about how the feds came and took his phones. It's a part of investigation. He's so disappointed because he felt like they sold out. They supposed to defend him and his right to the First Amendment and being able to say these words. Cool. Fool goes back outside. Apparently he got another phone. I don't know. He goes back outside, logs into the account, talking to some people, and then according to what the New York Times says, was involved in a confrontation with an unidentified man that escalated to gunfire outside of Montgomery County Court in Clarksville, about 50 miles northwest of Nashville. Both men sustained gunshot wounds and were in stable condition. It went from, whenever this first came out, Smith, I'm sure you're aware, it went from, oh, he got assaulted as Chud the Builder, somebody went after him. Then it leveled up into he approached them and then dude swung on him, sucker punched him. And he was still leaning with he got assaulted. Then that turned into, as they said with the gunfire, him getting a charge for attempt of murder. And I don't want to say I love to see it. But in order to keep it clean, get him off the streets, man, because it's one of the few times that you've seen other white people that are also very radical themselves have a longevity of them saying, bro, this guy is a weirdo. Like, get him away from it. He's ruining it for us. Like, you know, we're racist, but he's hard ER racist. We have some decorum. That's essentially what all the other white content creators were saying, you know. He's charged with attempted murder. Hey, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't know if y'all had too much to add on it. I'm only just giving the update on his buffoonery.
I'll talk about it, man. I didn't want to talk too much, but I'll give a semi-long soliloquy. Personally, like I was looking at the clips and everything. I was like, this dude is just someone who wants attention. You know what I mean? You going around the South of America, which is predominant. I don't know about the stats, but it's either half or predominantly black for obviously reasons. And you talking about people chimping out. You talking about people doing X, Y, and Z. Obviously, another wrinkle is that in these South states, they have very neutral stand your ground laws. I'm from Connecticut. You know what I mean? Right next to me is New York. We don't have as much advantage stand your ground laws as the, you know what I mean, Bodega with the NY hat on. We don't have as advantage stand your ground laws as these people in the South. You know what I mean? From Virginia down. So it's like, you know, we have to stand by the laws where if someone breaks in your house and they don't have an equal weapon, if you shoot them, you might still be at fault. You know, Chud the Builder is out here in Tennessee, out here in South Carolina. He not abiding by that. And the last thing I'll say is someone said this on Twitter, and I don't really, obviously it's a lot of things on Twitter. Twitter is probably the number one communicative site for a lot of conversation. But a lot of these people were talking about, oh, like Chud the Builder probably don't even want to be alive. You know what I mean? Maybe this is his way into playing into a corner where somebody will take him off the chessboard. And it's I
And
understand
to
that.
that I say, boo. Boo that theory. Don't do that now, right? Nah, don't try to run that play now for the sympathy card. Nah, buddy, nah, bucko, because the rest of the information did come out on it. Since if that's what they trying to run, I do not want the facts to be dismissed. If I didn't know this narrative existed,
Respectfully,
they
just
started,
do it, bro.
You know, because not only that. They done brought up your past. Of course, they done dug into your pictures, you running around in a dress, whatever the case may be. They brought up how you was dating a girl, and then she cheated on you with a black man, which may or may not have started this situation in tandem with you dating a black woman, and she used to peg you. And what did Bodega say on this very platform, brother? It's okay to be gay. There's nobody having an issue with it. Ev said the same thing. So it's like, if you getting broken down like that, that's a you situation. But to add to what you're saying, Smith, this is why it's even more corny. He was doing this in the South, but be very clear, a large portion of it, he was doing this in Nashville. And they, because that was the challenge. A lot of people kept saying, like, go to Memphis and do that. See, find out. But you were staying in Nashville for a reason, to still kind of lean into the safety and the protection of being in the larger city. Okay, so you knew what you were doing. So now I'm just giving up on it. No. What did Brother Rose say one time? Spin till you get dizzy. We'll find out. Bro.
Facts.
Spin till you get dizzy, bro. I just wanted you weren't. So now you ran into a situation. It's like, man, you did all that talking. That's the thing. You kept telling people how you have a gun. Every time a black person said something to him, you've seen the stream, he lift the shirt. This is what I got on me. Like, do something. Yeah. Do something. Somebody did. And then now the gunshot wound that you sustained is self-inflicted. You goof. You goofy. Wear that. You gotta wear that, man. So, man, it's tough because he wasn't supposed to be relevant enough in our atmosphere for us to even care about him, because I don't wish ill upon somebody, but it's like, if you would have gave me the option, get someone like a Myron out of here. Let's remove them. Get someone like the Fresh and Fit boys, like the ones that pseudo look like us and act like us, but then go against us. I'd rather those content creators get kicked to the curb, man. But Myron do look like someone that wears single sole Timbs, but because he's from Morocco, he runs around, you know what I'm saying? He run around acting like he holier than thou because I'm of African descent. Like that, those are the people. Like get the Sneakos, get them people, the black red pillars, get them out of the way. Chud that's a stupid name. That's a white name. I never need to know somebody named Chud ever in my life. I don't need to know what Chud. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
But that was in and out, man. Let's get to these playoffs, bro. I've been trying to hold back on other topics. Let's get to these playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Smith, you missed a direct bullet with your name on it. It was said here on this very stage that allegedly you were ducking because of what happened to your team. This was said by a Lakers fan. I'm just relaying the message to
Shout out Abe.
Matter of fact, you happen to be his highlight of the week. He brought it up at the top of the pod, then said your name, right? And said what happened, before you go a state over and we let Bodega just go on this NYC rant. Do you have anything to address about losing to a guy that wears Skechers?
I do. I don't know how long this will be, but Ray, Bodega, be free to cut me off whenever, because this is a very lengthy topic. I'm gonna try to not let it be lengthy, but I'm letting y'all be the time share owners on this. But we going into a 7-game series, right? Right. I want you guys to be interactive in this, and we gonna break it down. We going into a 7-game series. Jaylen Brown, Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, 15 to 20 games. He played that on the back end. I just no excuses, right? Like I'm all for the dog shit. Like Anthony Edwards right now, the knees, whatever he got going on against Wemby, big dog shit. Big dog. Like win or loss, I appreciate how you went out, bro. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But to go to Jaylen Brown, 7-game series didn't go in your favor. When it was your time to have the mantle, obviously it had some fluctuations weighing
Some
on you.
fluctuations.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, number 0. Yeah, fluctuations. Listen, man. During the regular season, we weren't taking as much threes. We weren't taking as much bad shots. We weren't as less energy, you know what I mean, as we were in the playoffs. But as soon as we get in the playoffs, and you know what I mean, not to say it's Jason Tatum's fault, but Jaylen Brown's trying to get Jason Tatum acquainted. He's trying to have the bigger picture in fold. He's trying to have the team in fold, and it's just like I wanted Jason Tatum to come back. You know what I mean? First and foremost, because I'm not gonna lie and say he's not a top 10 player, hurt or not. When he came back, he let me know he's really capable of averaging 25, 7, and 7. You know what I mean? Even off of Achilles injury, I can't be mad at that. How can I? You know what I mean? Especially seeing how Jaylen Brown had to carry Derek White shooting 35 and 25 from the field and 3, and having Pritchard doing the same thing as well. But the only thing I'm mad about is that he implemented himself in the system, and I'm gonna be quite frank, I hate to be this simple, but we don't have all the time in the day. I just hate he wasn't there for game 7. Obviously, with what happened, I didn't want him to be there for game 7, but in hindsight, personally, I think bro should have sat the whole thing out. And I am on Twitter saying he should have came back. I am on certain platforms saying he should have came back, but I'm here saying he maybe should have sat out. Only because them with Jaylen Brown played a certain way all year. Jason Tatum gets put into the fold, and you know what I mean. We don't get the same energy from the role players. We don't get the same. Just energy in total. You know what I mean. Even that game 7. You know what I mean? We went 6 games not playing certain people. In game 7, it was the most live everybody's seen us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Outside of those 7 games. So it's like, I'm not mad at Jason Tatum for coming back. You shown me you was a real dog, like a real dog for coming back. I had an injury. I know what it is to come back on a pro level, and you know what I mean? Do what you gotta do. But I think in this case, I don't want to call it selfish, but
you can say it. You can say it.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I don't want to say it, but it's like, bro,
because they jumped me last week.
Yeah,
everybody jumped me last week. I was on that Jason Tatum slander train, bro.
Yeah, we got a certain thing, right? So we got Hugo Gonzalez coming off the bench. We got certain dudes coming off the bench, and Vucevic's, the Derek Whites. It's like, bro, like we seen Derek White go 9 for 26 in a game 7. You know what I mean? Who else got Derek White as a second option in the playoffs right now?
Nobody. No. I take it back. Cade Cunningham is dealing with a Derek White Payless.
I'm sorry for Cade
as a second
option. He's dealing with worse than what Jaylen Brown was dealing with.
Yes,
and he made it through respectfully.
Barely.
You know what I mean? But it's like I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, like there's multiple things that could have happened to make sure this didn't happen. Maybe you keep Ant Simmons instead of Vucevic. All of this looks a lot different because at the end of the day, you couldn't score. Jaylen Brown was out here trying to guard Embiid. Jaylen Brown is 6'6", 240. Embiid is 7 foot, 280. This bro, everybody was hating on this stream at the end, but like, bro was talking about, damn, my back hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Embiid was a big toe. Hey, you know what I mean? Respectfully. So it's like, bro, like putting the whole picture in totality. Hopefully Jaylen Brown can get the first team, but I on hindsight, I was wrong. I wanted Jason Tatum to come back and contribute, but on hindsight, it really held back the Celtics from getting to the second round because there were certain things that should have happened that Jason Tatum prevented. So,
and you know what it was, man? Let me go ahead and throw the lob, man. What you essentially saying is, to me, this is how I heard it. As a member of the delegation, your light-skinned representative failed you, right?
yes.
And it seems that the separation between him and the other light-skinned leader is a pair of Tims. So, Bodega, can you, as someone being led by Jalen Brunson as we speak, as you join the light-skinned delegation, you're led by 3 of them, right?
Yeah. Shout out Brunson.
Yeah, Smith had 2. Derek White, unfortunately, didn't pan out. Jason Tatum didn't do his job, and they just needed a pair of Buttahs. So here you are with Josh Hart, Big Dog Hart, Kitty Cat, and the Kobe wearer himself, Jalen Brunson. You got 3 of them running the court in the second round. Cleanest of sweeps. You got Magic City out of there. No more lemon pepper wings. They don't do that in New York, right? All chopped cheeses. All.
You can 100% find some lemon pepper in New York. Okay, you can 100%. You can 100% find lemon pepper in New York. All right.
Facts.
But the homies came up there. They just got done with Boston. They presented the Philly cheesesteak, and y'all said, "Get it out of here." Can you explain what this means to New York as you went in the closet and dusted off your Timbs? No crease.
Listen,
crease.
Listen, I ain't had to dust off no Timbs. My Timbs is brand new, okay? You know what I'm saying?
You sleep in your Timbs. Pardon self.
You know what I'm saying? They brand new, fresh out the box. You know what I'm saying? I can go get them right now. But you know, for New York to be back in the Eastern Conference Finals and not have to face Boston, listen, it's a great time, okay? It's a great time. Because who are we up against? We up against Detroit and Cleveland. Okay, you can't trust James Harden. That eliminates the Cleveland Cavaliers automatically. Automatically, they done. James Harden will get you to a conference finals and will not get you any further. That's just law. That's just what's written in his contract. That's just it's written in his contract. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's like that. But he's not going to get you any further, right? Detroit has been inconsistent literally all playoffs. After putting up 60 wins, they've been inconsistent. So, what does this mean for New York? It means to me, New York going to the finals. This is what it means to me. It means New York going to the finals, and we'll see whoever get there. All right. If it's OKC, because see, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. OKC, okay. We don't respect them colors, okay? We don't respect those. You adopted those colors. You wasn't born.
I forgot colors, they got the same colorway.
You wasn't born in them colors. You adopted them colors, all right? You're not Hoovers, you're not Astros, and you're not the Knicks.
Talk your shit.
You niggas is from fucking Oklahoma, okay? Listen, when the Supersonics come back, y'all got to get that history back. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all niggas, y'all not either anything for real. All right. The nigga leading y'all from Canada, okay? Like you down bad, you down horrendous. Okay, you down like Chet. Y'all got Chet because you couldn't get Wembyama. And we see what Chet be doing in the paint. He be getting getting destroyed in the paint. There is no pause behind that. He just be getting packed out in the paint. So here's the thing, you know, y'all on this apparently historic run. You know, you're statistically one of the best teams that ever exist. Blah 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 blah. You niggas are soft. Okay, we know Oklahoma for meth and heroin. Okay, that's the only thing I want to know Oklahoma City for. So. If the Knicks make it to the finals, listen, and we beat OKC, you will never hear the end of it, okay? New York, look, the Knicks win, y'all niggas will never hear the end of it. Not even from me. I won't have to say anything, all right? New York will be on a tear, all right?
Facts.
Y'all thought Y'all thought New York was up because we have a democratic socialist who's a Muslim. Let that nigga take office, eliminate a deficit, bring down rent prices, clean up the MTA, and the Knicks win in the same year. Listen. New York will be the reason why the presidential rules are rewritten. And if you think Madani ain't gonna be president in 12 years, you got another fucking thing coming. Okay. So for the Republicans who are watching, you better not let the Knicks win the series. Okay. You better not let the Knicks win the finals. Y'all niggas will lose so much if the Knicks win the finals, okay? So listen, fuck OKC. I'm rooting for the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Timberwolves. Listen. I know y'all got Lil Jordan on there, but like I don't want to see Minnesota. I don't want to see Minnesota. I don't want to see the Timberwolves. Like I don't have any belief that the Timberwolves can beat OKC. I only think the Spurs can do it, and if the Spurs can't do it, then the Knicks have to do it. But we have to eliminate OKC. I don't really give a fuck about what's going on in the playoffs. OKC needs to be buried. All right, they got a sweep against the Lakers. LeBron, you making it very hard for me to argue for you in the group chat. I need you to know that. Okay, LeBron, you're 1A, 1B. Or at worst, you number 2. And these niggas in the group chat, you got swept. I understand you 41. I'm not 41. I don't know what 41. You've been in better shape your entire life than I have. So I can't really tell you anything on that front. But you making it very hard to argue your case. Okay.
Facts.
They on Twitter talking about you got swept in your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s. That's very hard to argue against. It's very hard for me to argue against that. You know, when we trying to compare you to Michael Jordan, like
that's a crazy stat.
Like you're making it very challenging for us, okay? So I need you to decide if you're gonna retire. You might be waiting for your other son. The Lakers, I don't know what the hell y'all doing, man. I don't know. I don't know what y'all doing.
Damn, he covered the whole playoffs. I don't even know what he covered the whole playoffs.
Pretty much, bro. That was great.
Dallas, you niggas are losers. Actually, let me go a step further. Dallas, you niggas are losers. You had Brunson and you had Luka. Did you think Kyrie was young enough to be like, oh well, all right, well, Kyrie's almost as good? What did you think? What did you think was happening? What did you niggas? And y'all got Cooper Flag. Listen, I don't know why you even believing in that. I don't know why you believing in that. Y'all gonna fumble him, and when his next contract is up, y'all gonna give him away. I just want y'all to know that. I don't know why that's what y'all gonna do, but that's what y'all gonna do. So like,
oh man,
oh,
you know what's crazy
Houston,
about?
Yo, please get rid of KD. Nah, I'm just keep going. Listen. KD, I need you to know something, okay? We are literally a degree of separation, okay? I know like half of your family in real life. Like in real life, I know half of your family. You are a bum. You are a bum. You're not a leader. You know these two things about yourself. You are a cancer to literally any organization that you've ever been a part of, including Golden State. Okay.
Facts.
Those championship rings, I can't take that from you. Okay. You're taller than me. I can't take that from you. You got more money than me. I can't take that from you, brother. I can't take it from you. I can't take it from you. You know what I'm saying? But you're ashy, and that's something I've never been. The Houston Rockets, you need to trade that nigga immediately. It does not matter if you get pennies on a dollar back. You need to get that nigga out of your locker room. You can't build anything around KD. You could, like, literally, we've seen this. The only team that succeeded with KD on it was a team that had already had 73 wins.
Best team of all time.
It was the best. It was the best team of all time. was the only team that's won anything with KD. We've seen it in Brooklyn. Actually, fuck them niggas. We've seen it with the New Jersey Nets. We've seen it with the New Jersey Nets. Get the fuck out of Brooklyn. We've seen it with we've seen it with the Suns. We've seen it in OKC, them bum ass niggas. We've seen this movie. Get him out of there, please.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, man, he going to New York.
What the fuck is KD and Van Fleet supposed to do? Like what? Let's be serious. Come on now.
Small hats ain't enough, man.
Fuck
Need
out.
something else.
Oh my goodness, man. All I could add to this at this point, I'm just hoping that Detroit pull it off because I've been slandering Donovan Mitchell something serious. For
You and me
a
both,
minute.
bro. You're not on that ledge by yourself, man. Me and you both.
But what I can say though, only Abe and Bodega picked New York to be here. So as a platform, I might even have to make a compilation of the video because I was going back, I was looking for some. We were all wrong about the Eastern Conference Finals.
Facts. And it's largely part due to Boston.
That's a fact. Because Rose vehemently, he said it with no question. You were there. I asked the question of like who y'all got winning the first round. He flat out said Boston to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the championship. And I was like, oh, whoa, you know.
I would have made that choice too. I would have made that choice too.
I would have said the same thing.
In hindsight, I should have questioned, you know. And then now on the other side, half of us was saying Detroit very confidently. We looking to potentially be wrong. I will add this. This is the only piece I'll add. If Cleveland doesn't do it this year, I don't want to hear that rant he just said about KD. I need us all to do our due diligence on this platform. Get a broom, a mop, a squeegee, whatever, and we need to talk about James Harden.
Hey, let's not
he
say
should be getting all the
Have
slander.
we not been talking about James Harden this entire
Let's
time?
not say Cleveland, though.
No.
Let's not say Cleveland, man. It's listen, we just seen this dude win last night, right? 2-2, right? James Harden is who he is, and I hate to do this, right? Because a ring matters a lot. But like James Harden might be the one person where the ring matters the least. We listen to me. We seen James Harden for a series of 5 years. 1, be the most unguardable dude. 2, change the entire rules from a fundamental standpoint. And 3, right? Like we seen him, bro. People were guarding him with their hands behind his back, behind him and in front of him. They were behind him and in front of him with their hands behind their back, like it was an elementary school game. You know what I mean? So James Harden is who he is. The thing with me is Donovan Mitchell. Last night he shouldn't have won. He went 7 for 19 en route to reach his first conference finals.
What did Rose say? He put up concert dates. He put up concert dates.
Oh, July 18th.
He put up concert dates.
You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, he's actively doing this, right? And like, I'm gonna be honest. I not to say I switched my pick, but Cleveland, I think, is gonna face the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's just like the Cleveland outside of Donovan is a hell of a team. You got Mobley, you got Jared Allen, you got Harden. It's like, bro, like you didn't have to, not to say you didn't have to try hard, but like, bro, we seen in the game last night and went OT and you went 7 for 19. 7 for 19 is damn near 30%.
No, sir.
I can't emphasize this enough. I need New York to come out in full force if Cleveland get there, bro. Because I'm just for the sake of basketball too. No one's trying to see no Cleveland versus San Antonio.
I'm not
finals.
Nobody.
I'm not
Nobody trying to see Cleveland versus OKC. You can't have 2 middle market teams like this. We got away with it with OKC and Tyrese Halliburton.
Can't have Cleveland out the East, bro.
Detroit, for the sake of your 7-mile gentrification project, you have to win this series. Okay. Listen, Detroit. Listen, y'all are on the cusp of being a Chicago alternative for people moving who want to be close to water into Lake Michigan. Okay. Y'all have some of the best women in the world. Flawless.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Flawless.
Can't-
Flawless. Flawless women from Detroit in that surrounding area. Absolutely can do no wrong. Chest tattoos, long nails. You know, they roll the best blunts. I mean, Detroit has some of the best food, some of the most entrepreneurial spirit in this country. Okay, you want to talk about the American dream? It's in Detroit, but you niggas got to win this series for that to happen. If you don't, listen, the Lions are already collapsing. We've seen it. They're already collapsing. Okay? Ford is trying their very best to get into Formula One, and it's a little shaky. Cadillac, you know what I'm saying? They try, whatever case. They spend $1 billion to get in Formula One. You have to do your part, Detroit. Pistons, you have to do your part. You have to do your part.
I agree.
We have to complete the gentrification. Detroit is a beautiful city. I was there earlier this year. I was there last year. Shit, I'm trying to get back there. You know what I'm saying? Detroit is a beautiful place, okay? Don't ruin this for us. Don't ruin this for us.
That might have been one of the funniest playoff reviews we've done in a minute, man. I'm not gonna hold you. This is all out of giving New York love led us to some shenanigans. But I want to end with 2 questions. One's gonna be just you and your male ego. I want y'all to fully lock in. If you get a little prideful, that's okay.
Yes, sir.
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. Second one was a genuine question that was asked to me, and things happen in the South. All right.
Okay.
First one. What horror movie do you think you could survive?
Oh, that's a good ass question.
Anything with that nigga Michael or Jason in that motherfucker.
You sick. You sick. Bro.
Anything with Jason or Mike. Listen, Jason, I will suplex you, nigga. I don't even know, like you move completely slow on camera. Nigga, I'm suplexing you. Give me that machine. Listen. As a nigga with a Caribbean heritage, I know my way around a machete. Okay, I know my way around a machete.
Can we get specific?
You're not about to out. Nah, we can't. But we not.
No,
He's not about to
Caribbean.
specific
Because
with
I'm
the Caribbean
Caribbean.
heritage.
I want to know.
See-
Where we talking.
Hey, but they can say I'm not implicating myself. What are you talking?
I'm not going any. I'm not going any further than that. But what I am going to say is, you're not going to out machete me, nigga. That's for facts. That's not happening. You're not out
He just wanted to
macheting
know
me.
where in the Caribbean are your folks
Nah,
from? Not
it's
how
okay,
you use the
because
machete.
it all means the same thing. Unless you're talking about the U.S. Virgin Islands, it all means the same thing. You're not going to out machete
That's
me. In a 1-to-1 machete match, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You not out.
Jason might be the greatest machete user of all time.
Nah, he not. He not better than my uncle for sure. He not better than my uncle for sure. Smitty know 5 uncles and aunts right now that will out machete Jason right now today. You ever seen a yardie with a coconut and a machete? Fuck out of here. You're not gonna out machete me, nigga. Give me that machete and I'm suplexing the fuck out of you. Off rip.
Okay, Smith, what you got, bro?
Hey man, I co-signed the message, man. I co-signed the message. You know what I mean? Like, same
So you
Caribbean heritage.
You surviving Friday the 13th. You surviving Jason. That's what you want.
I don't know about the exact movie I'm surviving.
You surviving
me
Jason Voorhees in general.
Yeah,
Jadakiss rapped as Jason Voorhees. Hold on. I'm sorry, Smith. Let me get back to it. Jadakiss rapped as Jason Voorhees. You beating that Jason. That's what you saying with the New York cap on. That's what you telling me, Bodega.
Listen, a nigga
3 bodies in one night. That's a hat trick. That's what he told us.
A nigga from Yonkers is not beating a nigga from Brooklyn any day of the week. Yonkers is not even a borough. Like, what's we talking about? What was we talking about?
Yo, he not lying, bro.
Any day of the week.
Not lying, man.
Jason is getting clipped. And this is what I'm saying. This is just me. Don't let me have some of my niggas in there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's just
Listen.
you. Could you survive? That's the you
Yeah, no,
in
I'm
the movie.
surviving. I'm surviving. Listen, give me some Timbs. Give me a Rockaware jean suit.
Mhm.
He in Tim's too.
I need my bandana, and you know what I'm saying. Whatever else, I'll figure out the rest. Give me Tim's, a fitted, and a Rockaware jean suit. That nigga ain't out macheteing me. Fuck out of here.
Nah, I feel you. Yo, I'm not gonna lie though, Jason, we gonna have to go head to head. You ain't got enough on game tape. You know what I mean? You ain't got enough on film for me to be scared personally. You know what I mean? Even though when your movies was coming out, I was legit. Nah, nigga, pop out. I'm ready for that. I'm ready.
Is it just because they walk? Because y'all confidently saying, homie.
Nah, it's because they walk.
Because he did say Michael
walk.
Myers.
He gonna walk and he gonna get sliced from behind, bro. I'm gonna hit that boy with the.
I'm saying, listen.
What you saying, Bodega?
Listen.
Fruit Ninja.
I know I move faster than him. I know I move faster than him. I know for a fact. You know it. And I'm not Caucasian. We got to throw that in there, right? Like I have critical thinking skills. You know what I'm saying?
Oh crap, bro.
You ever had to navigate you ever had to navigate Junction Ash train station or Utica? Nah.
Fact.
Nah, they had to navigate. Listen.
Oh man. Okay, I'm at least in the same realm as y'all. I'll say I could survive Nightmare on that. I could survive Freddy Krueger, bro. Like, because we done seen these nightmares before, for real, bro. So like, I'm not really necessarily concerned just because you had an indecent day yourself as a child. That's just me personally. You ain't the first set of knives that I've seen. What y'all saying? Y'all are Caribbean related. I understand. I grew up around nothing but Mexicans. This isn't the first knife that I've ever seen in my life. I've seen people use 5 knives like they Zorro from One Piece rarely casually over here, bro. I'm not really concerned about falling asleep and you giving me a nightmare. I'm black, sir. I'm black and I go outside on a regular basis. I just don't know what you pulling up on. But okay, that's question one.
Chucky too.
Nah, man. See, Chucky do kind of scare me, bro, because you having to pay attention to a small little doll that could go around like Stewie Griffin is kind of crazy. If you see him,
world that a doll is beating me in literally anything.
Okay, that's if you paying attention. That's all. Chucky presents more margin for error. That's what I'll say. Chucky presents.
That's fair.
He presents more margin for error. All right. Second question. This question was presented to me. This is apparently a real life situation. Again, it comes from the South. But I know you spend a little time in Atlanta. This is a different South. This is not Atlanta included. Think of the rest of the South. All right. That surrounds Atlanta. Okay.
Shit, bro. I done spent some time in Andrews, South Carolina. You don't even know where that is.
I've been in Charleston.
It's not Gunnison, Mississippi
Commercial.
South though. You know, it's not Rosedale, Mississippi South. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you. I hear you. I'm with you. All right. You and your spouse been happy in a relationship for 5 years. No issues. Really solid. For fun, y'all two decided to do a 23andMe and you find out y'all cousins.
23andMe? 23 and first of all, 5 years. First of all, Bodega, hold on. Let me hash this out. 5 years, no issues is crazy.
Yeah, no issues.
5 years, no issues. 5 years, no issues alone is crazy. You know what I mean? But 23andMe and you find out. Damn.
Are y'all saying?
What type of cousins? Oh fuck! Edit that out. Nah. I didn't mean it like that.
Hey, you sounded real southern, my boy.
No. I just meant first or second cousins. That's what I meant. I meant first and second cousins. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah, you
That's what I
sounded
meant.
real Southern just now. You locked into the question. I appreciate that. You did your method acting. You landed there. You embraced the
man.
role. You sounded Verge, Alabama, real quick right there.
For a second.
Oh man, yeah, that's the question. You found out is you staying?
Did I smack already?
It's been 5 years.
It's
You know the
been
answer to
5
that
years.
question.
You've been
Yeah, I
smacking mad
definitely
long.
smacked after the first 3 months. I smacked.
It's
2
been
weeks.
5 years, good sir. That might be part of the reason why you didn't have no issues for 5 years.
Damn. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you my whole play, right? All right. Fuck. We just gonna have to keep this shit under wraps. It's gonna be crazy. But like, yo, it's only crazy if I smacked it already. If I smacked it already, it's no way out.
You can't unsmack.
Yeah, you can't. That's what I'm saying. There's no way out. I can't undo what I did. So it's like, at that point, I just gotta let 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 2 months go by, and then hopefully she got that out her brain. And then obviously, if it's not out her brain, she getting cut off. Like, she getting cut off. She getting fully cut off, bro. Cause like, what else am I keeping you around? You know what I mean? I can't. After knowing you, my cousin, I can't keep smacking that for the rest of my life. I'm not one of them.
I don't know if I can associate with you in general. Like because
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just one of them situations we know too much. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope that we only have to answer at the pearly gates whenever we have to answer for this. But I can't, in good conscience, continue to associate with you in any way, shape, or form from here on out. And with that being said, is like, I might have to run at least a fair one with somebody, because if in 5 years, I'm sure you brought them around somebody that you related to. So if you just let me do that, I hate you. If you didn't know about it, I'm disappointed in us as a family, because we should have better ties. But after, I can't in good conscience ever speak to you again. It just couldn't happen.
I'm gonna say, listen, if that's my third cousin, what can I say? I didn't know my grandparents on my mother's side at all. So like, you know,
chalk it up to the game.
You got to chalk it up to the game. You got to. Third cousin, that's great grandparents. Like, you ain't know them, they ain't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because someone,
I feel that.
What the follow up was? Someone that's in the group chat responded. So essentially, what you're saying is no one with the last name Jefferson could be in this scenario.
Listen, I mean, because okay, all right, but you gotta look at it like this. Like, okay, you fell in love. Y'all been together 5 years. Chemistry is great.
You probably live together.
You live together, right? You should already be married at that point. If you listen, on a tangent, if you are a man right now who's been in a long-term relationship with a woman and you have not put a ring on that finger, nigga, by year 2, you are a bum ass nigga, and you need to go ahead and get up out of there, okay? Okay.
Can I get Bodega? Can I get clarification on year 2? Like, year 2 after official, year 2, like
year two after official. I get all that. So it's technically 3 years, right? But like, bro, come on, bro. Stop playing with that woman. Stop playing with that woman.
Wait. Hold on. Because you raised a good point. You said you've been in multiple long-term relationships. So if this is your first one, you still kind of in the clear.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you talking about doing life with that woman, y'all talking about future projecting kids, getting a house, all that other type of shit, you know enough to know that you want to get married. Stop playing with that woman. Go ahead and save up that little
Facts.
5 or 10% or 15% of your what's the name? Go get a ring. You can do a ring on a firm right now. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Don't do that. White
She
propaganda. That just started less than like
hold
30
on,
years
hold
ago.
on, hold
Don't
on,
do
hold
that. That's
on,
white
hold
propaganda,
on,
bro.
hold on, because like you know, she may not know the difference between diamonds and moissanites. Okay. Also, lab grown diamonds will keep you out of that diamond slave trade and also
Facts.
be significantly less. Okay. Boom. If you want to stretch, if you want to stretch what the diamond looks like, get an emerald cut or get another, I forget what the other long cut is or whatever the case that makes it look like you got more diamond than what it is. Do whatever you got to do, but marry that woman and stop
Yeah.
bullshit. Okay, now back to the actual question. If it's like second cousins, I don't know. Like I'm gonna have to be like, mm, you know, like okay, I ain't never seen you at the family reunion. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been invited to your family reunions.
Facts.
You know, like now in the other thing that's gonna play into that though is how much do we look alike? Like how much like do because like okay,
That's
see
a
like
great question too.
because
That's a great
like
question
I
too.
got some cousins that like there's no mistaking it, right? You of us, we know each other. It's in the cheeks and the pigmentation of the skin.
Right.
Like my cousins in Savannah, no mistaking it. I know a family member the moment I come across it. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody know your
Facts.
somebody know your grandmama. Them. It may not be me, but somebody. Yeah, yeah, you family. I already know it. But like, yeah, first cousin is strict haram. That's haram. Get that out of here. Second cousin, maybe. If we don't look alike, you know, might be able to work it out. Third cousins for sure. Let's go ahead and keep this straight roll.
Okay. So just
I
same
feel that. I
question.
feel that.
Same question. Say you didn't find out through like an ancestry.com 23andMe. Y'all found out pulling up to the reunion. Y'all hadn't been in a while. You walk in, you know, it's your folks, and that's how you find out. Can you handle, can your ego handle that you know bombshell being dropped amongst the
No.
folks? Like
It
No,
it,
can't.
it depends on the female. It depends personally. It depends on the female. If she holding it down and keeping it p, we all good.
but
But
all
we
your
know,
folks telling you that's your cousin. That's
yeah,
cuzzo.
yeah, that's cause hey, listen, it's up to her. I'm gonna be honest. This is the
It's
one
up to
rare scenario
It's
where
up
it's up
to
to her.
It's up
I'm
to her.
sorry, only because it's both of y'all secret, and you know, as a man, you holding it down. As a man, certain shit go to the grave. You got no control over her, dog.
Hey, hey, you know the funny shit is like your family will also hold it down too. So like
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fact.
it's not leaving the cookout for real. It's gonna be one of those stories that like the younger generation here, like, yeah, well,
Facts.
you know, technically those two is cousins, and they had your, you know, they had your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it's gonna be. So like, but
They
like
hunt you.
personally, my ego can't take that. I pull up to the family reunion, we kicking it, kiki and ha ha. You know, I'm gonna introduce you to my folks. You're gonna introduce me to like. Imagine, right? It's like, oh yeah, I think we're also having a family reunion this weekend, and you got to do the math. Be like, nah, there's no way. You pull up, and that's your grandma and them. Like, nah, that's your cousin. That's your
Because you know what
cousin.
it is.
Cause
Yeah,
saying?
especially being down
I
here,
get
because
it.
that's one
I'm
of my
leaving.
first thoughts. When you say the South, I'm looking at it as like, all right, man. Most of the places you do a family reunion in the South, where you park and the front door, there's enough time for y'all to be acknowledging that somebody else walking around, and you be like, oh, you know, wait, you know him? How you?
Yeah.
Let's circle back to the car right quick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
not everybody
yeah.
inside the house. You should be able to end. And if you knew where you was going, because imagine that's what I'm thinking. You on the drive, and you start to round you a couple blocks away. It's like, oh yeah, I used to come over here all the time when I was a kid. You like,
What
word?
you mean by that?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Then you get on the street, and I was like, yeah, man, you know, my grandma. Apparently, my grandma live up this block for real. Yes, you. That's all. But if I found out at the reunion, no, man, I don't think as much as I put work into it that my pride can show face amongst even my bloodline for the rest of my life. Dog.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving.
You're not
bro.
gonna see me again. You're not gonna see me.
Some shit isn't your fault though.
Nah,
Some shit isn't your fault.
I'm leaving, bro. Because like, here's the thing. I've been talking about how I'm about to hop on this grill. I got a leg of lamb marinating. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not showing up to the family reunion empty-handed. So like, you know, listen. You about to eat this lamb. Like, oh, nah, this your cousin. No, okay, all right. I need you and the rest of the family to get away from me. Okay, get away from me. Get away from me.
You taking the lamb back?
I'm taking the lamb back.
Bro, that lamb goat be busting. That lamb goat.
Facts. I'm taking that leg of lamb home. Okay.
Hell.
Oh, you sick man, bro. Because I may not cook the lamb, but I gotta leave the brisket, man. I don't even want to talk about brisket no more because because
you can't even trust that somebody gonna do it the way you do it. And now I got ruined meat and my relationship ruined.
Nah, ruined meat is crazy. Bad.
No, that's a fact, man. Because I need, what is it called, your depression food? I might have to take the food back.
Yeah, I need that. I need that.
Depression food, bro.
I need that.
Well, we're gonna wrap up that dirty topic, man. This has been the Keep It Clean. It's been the Keep It Clean show.
It was
Bodega.
ultra clean.
You know what I'm saying? Bodega just told you what would happen if he found out while wearing his Buttahs that homegirl was his cousin. You know what I'm saying? But while y'all are here, man, we appreciate y'all as usual. Like, comment, and subscribe. Reach us on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter at the Keep It Clean Show. At Keep It Clean Show. Instagram at the Keep It Clean Show. Smitty, I did advise the folks earlier in this episode that we've been seeing the comments, and I've been putting out a lot of videos. It's been ranging from you to Bodega to Rose, Abe, and whatnot. And we've been seeing some of the comments. So what I might start doing is, like, when I know y'all pulling up, I'm gonna throw up a random comment that someone responded to you, be like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? You know what you got for this? You feel what I'm saying, man?
Fuck with that.
Yeah, because at least, you know, these are specific to you. I've been noticing with the clips that I've been designing, we all kind of have a niche of what we hit. And you know, Bodega always get comments like, you know, shit for brains and poop for brains. That's what we always get whenever Bodega get to talking. It'd be mad white people just telling us.
I don't even know how the white people be finding my comments. I don't even know. Because like I don't even be on the podcast consistently. So like it's like podcast topic go up and they still like, oh, it's that nigga. Oh, nah.
And you know what it is? It could also be it's partially on us because the hashtags that we do throw on there do be associated with certain things. So you might get thrown in their algorithm and then you just happen to pull up. Smith, I got one the other day. I posted something Abe and I had did. Right, we was talking about the down. I think you might have seen it when we were saying like, is this one of the biggest downfalls we've seen of a superstar? Talking about Embiid. And I posted it during the first round. And then it turned into, oh, Cope Harder. He's always going to be forever a legend. It's just one game because they had just played the Knicks, right? I'm sorry, they played the second round. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know what you're talking about. And then they started listening mad people. And I was like, bro, little y'all know this is like 3 months old, bro. Like, I'm not even talking about right now. Then, of course, petty me being who I am, they got swept. So I circled back to the comments. Hey, yo.
What you say now?
Let me holler at you. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna start throwing them comments, but we appreciate all the following and anything. So with that being said, fellas, closing statements. By the way, Smitty, I don't think we can hear you. Might have to change your mic, but you got closing statements. Bodega?
Oh yeah. Nah, I definitely got a closing statement. I was gonna let Smitty go first, but listen, man, this is my closing statement, man. If you're going into tonight being a Drake fan, I want you to know that you're a loser. Okay, I want you to know.
Yo.
There you go. We hear you.
I want you to know that. Okay, if you're still a Drake fan after finding out that he doesn't write his raps, he's publicly, potentially, allegedly a pedophile. Let's see what else. He's light skinned.
We hear you.
You know. He's from Toronto. You know, I'm not even gonna speak on anything else. I'm not gonna say anything else. Like, you know, them ABC rhymes. You know, that nigga 40. He's 40. He 40. So like, you like all of that. Like that nigga call himself the Iceman at 40. That's your man. Listen, you're a loser. You're a loser. I want you to know that. Take that to heart. You are a loser. Okay? You're a loser. If you wanted another light-skinned rapper that's relatively relatable, J. Cole is right there. He's right there.
Facts.
Maybe a
Facts.
little bit more boring, but he raps better.
Facts. Hey, it's a lot to compact, but I'll start off with the Drake shit. Listen, man, Kendrick a better rapper than you. Listen, you a better pop artist. You should die on that hill, bro. Stop that gangster shit, bro. And listen, I'm Team Kendrick. He beat your ass, but listen, what time is it right now? 10:23. Listen, bro, hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna be up watching your shit. I'm gonna be up listening to your shit. That don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. I'm just trying to hear what the fuck you got to say. After 3 tracks, I'll go back to fucking sleep. Happily. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to hear what you got to say. You know what I mean? And listen, man, like in terms of Jaylen Brown, listen, a lot of people have been giving him flack for how he been after the loss. Listen, if I was going 6 games, right, in a certain series with a certain lineup, with a certain rotation, and then in game 7, it was completely different. Everything was completely different. Obviously, there's something bigger ahead of me. They obviously wanted something he didn't want in terms of him wanting to be contending and competing. They did not want to contend and compete. So I just want to say there's probably different opinions on that, but yeah, man, I'm excited for Ice, man. I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but music, man, music is music. I know y'all probably don't mess with Lucky, but I'm excited for Lucky too tonight. I appreciate Lucky for not pushing back his album release date for Drake.
You don't have to worry about that.
You with him, right?
Yeah, I'm Lucky Day. I'm with that.
Yeah, I'm appreciating Lucky for not pushing his album date for Drake because they are 2 different artists. Stand on your business, but yeah, bro, like it's a good time to be alive. Trump got a lot of things going on. Oil's going crazy. Getting the stock market, people. I'm 26. Get in the motherfucking stock market. Do your due diligence. Make that motherfucking money. You got like maybe 8 to 12 months before the cycle's done and we get in the bear market. Eat. And then, you know what I mean? Have everything else for another day. But yeah, that's what I'll say.
I got one more thing. Also, Jaylen Brown, you need to go link up with Jadakiss. Whatever Jadakiss did to get his hairline back after being bald for 20 years, you need to go do that same thing. Okay, that's what you need to go
out
do.
of pocket.
because Jadakiss want us to believe that he spent 20 years bald as a choice and then suddenly could grow all his hair back. But anytime you in the barbershop and your hairline get pushed back, it's permanent. See, that's what I'm saying. The math. You got to do the mathematics because that's not quite true. So Jaylen Brown, whatever he did, you need to go do that, and then you need to get off the Celtics, nigga, because they don't like you that much. So,
oh my goodness, man. Oh gosh, man, I love you, fellas, bro. So I'm gonna say, we're at the point in time now where everything that we have discussed, even on this very pod, just in general, when people ask you what you do for a living, just say your best, and you'd be right. Just say you are doing your best. That's what you do for a living, because a lot of us are adulting in the same way that a tomato is a fruit. I guess. You're doing what you can do. That's the best that you can do, bro. When people talk to you with everything going on, I don't care about what side of the aisle you on. I don't care about what belief system you have. It could range from Islam to Christianity to karma to whatever. Right? You're doing your best. And I see you. I see you, dog. That's what what's your occupation? My best. What are you doing today? My best. What do you plan on doing next week? I don't know, nigga. Hopefully my best. That's what I got for you.
Because people will use your occupation as a trying to figure out where to judge you at. You know what I'm saying? Right. Financially. And respectability wise, tell them to suck your dick. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Matter of fact, you just landed on the one off. You said it, and I expect you to be there. People utilizing your occupation as a personality trait. When you describe yourself, and the first thing you say to me, I don't care who you are. If I ask you, like, man, who you are, like, what's this about you? And the first thing you list up, second thing is your occupation. I don't got much to talk to you about because I didn't ask what you did for a living. I asked, who are you? And you describe like, oh, nah, all right, move around. Move around. We're gonna come back to that though, man. But that was episode 53, man. Get you some Buttahs if you live up north, I guess. I don't know. This has been the Keep It Clean show, man. We out, bro.